You wake up in Spain to the sound of a scooter and a coffee grinder. Open your laptop and decide to do this properly. Register as autónomo. Spain's self-employed. This isn't a mystery cult. It's a system with moving pieces that click if you line them up in the right order. Start with the picture Spain uses to understand you. If you perform an economic activity on your own account, design, consulting, coaching, coding, delivering, selling, Spain sees you as a professional or a trader. The tax authority wants you registered, so your invoices exist in the system, your VAT is reported when required, and your income tax is paid in chunks through the year. Social Security wants you affiliated, so you contribute monthly to healthcare and pensions under the self-employed scheme. Think of it as two doors you must open in the right order: Hacienda for taxes and Seguridad Social for contributions. The day you choose to become autonomous, you handle 3 practical steps. First, you get your digital keys: a Spanish tax ID, NIE, a bank account in your name, and a digital certificate or clove so you can sign forms online. Second, you register your activity with Hacienda using Modelo 036 or 037. This is your tax Alta, where you declare what you do, your IAE epigraphy, Spain's activity code, whether you'll charge VAT, whether you'll operate in the EU and need an EU VAT number, and which income tax regime you'll use. Third, within a few days, ideally within the same day, you register with Seguridad Social under RETA, Régimen Especial de Trabajadores Autónomos. Don't reverse the order. Fines for working without registration exist, and backdated affiliation can get messy. Now translate what you pay into 3 distinct flows: income tax, VAT, and Social Security. Income tax is your personal tax on profit, income minus allowable expenses. VAT is a sales tax you collect on most invoices and hand over quarterly, net of the VAT you paid on eligible business costs. Social Security is a monthly contribution based on your net income band that buys you healthcare, parental benefits, disability coverage, and a future pension. Each flow has its own calendar, forms, and logic. Your income tax regime determines how you calculate profit and how you prepay tax during the year. Most self-employed professionals start an Estimación Directa Simplificada, simplified direct estimation. You book income, book expenses, amortize gear above certain prices across useful life, and pay quarterly payments on account through Modelo 130. The standard fraction is a percentage of your quarterly net profit. If your invoices include withholding, more on that soon, those retentions reduce what you prepay. A smaller group of trades, certain retail and hospitality epigraphies, may qualify for the Módulos system, a lump sum method based on external signs, tables, meters, staff, rather than real profit. It's tightly limited. If you're a designer, developer, consultant, coach, photographer, or content creator, you're almost surely in simplified direct estimation. Withholding is a Spanish quirk that helps pre-collect income tax. If you render professional services to Spanish businesses, your invoices may include a small line with personal income tax withholding, retención. Your client withholds that amount and pays it to Hacienda on your behalf. You receive the net and claim the withheld amount as a credit in your quarterly Modelo 130 and your annual return. New professionals can apply a reduced withholding for their first 3 years of activity if they meet the conditions. Thereafter, the standard professional withholding applies. If your clients are consumers, there's no withholding and you shoulder quarterly prepayments yourself. If you hire other professionals or staff, you become the one withholding on their invoices or wages and paying it through your own employer forms. Many solo autónomos never touch that stage. VAT, IVA, in Spain, sits on top of your prices for most goods and services at the general rate unless your activity is exempt or reduced rate. If you're VAT registered, you add VAT to your Spanish B2B and B2C invoices. When the place of supply is Spain, collect it, subtract the VAT you paid on business purchases, and file Modelo 303 quarterly with an annual summary. Sell to EU businesses? You may need to register for EU transactions, verify VAT numbers, and issue reverse charge invoices when the rules send the tax to the customer. Those go into Modelo 349. Sell digital services or goods cross-border to consumers? You may choose special one-stop schemes so you don't register in every country. Purely VAT-exempt professions, certain health and education services, skip charging VAT, but also lose the right to deduct input VAT on costs. Retailers under Recargo de Equivalencia pay a small surcharge to suppliers instead of filing VAT. It's only for qualifying merchants, not for service pros. Social Security is the heartbeat you feel every month, not every quarter. Under the current income-based system, your monthly contribution scales with your expected net income. You declare a forecast band. Seguridad Social sets a monthly quota for that band, and later it's regularized when your real net income is known. New autónomos can access a reduced rate period, the flat rate if they meet the conditions, which lowers the initial monthly bill. If your income is low, the reduced rate can extend. If it grows, your quota increases. Contributions for maternity, paternity, and temporary incapacity are bundled. You can also add coverage for professional contingencies. The important thing isn't memorizing all bands. It's understanding that the quota isn't optional, it's monthly, and it's deductible as a business expense. Once you're live, your calendar gets a rhythm. Quarterly, you file VAT, Modelo 303. If you're in the VAT system and income tax prepayments, Modelo 130. If you're in simplified direct estimation. The deadlines hit a few weeks after each quarter ends, with January including your annual summaries. Annually, you file your personal income tax return, the RETA, Modelo 100, in spring for the prior year, and your VAT annual summary if required. If you trade with EU customers or suppliers, the 349 summary appears. If you bill large amounts to or from specific counterparties, Spain may ask you to file informative returns that list annual totals by customer or supplier. It sounds heavy until you set a simple rule. Close your books monthly, keep every receipt that smells like business, and don't touch the VAT money. Park it in a side pocket so it isn't accidentally spent. What counts as a deductible expense is common sense with Spanish specifics. Anything necessary for your activity, documented and paid through traceable means, is on the table. Your laptop, software, co-working, marketing, accountant, travel to client sites, professional training, dues, bank fees, web hosting, and your social security quota. If you work from home, the law lets you deduct a proportion of housing costs based on floor area used exclusively for work. For utilities, a fixed percentage is applied to that proportion. Rent or mortgage interest, IBI, condo fees, and insurance follow the space ratio. Electricity, water, internet, and gas follow the special slice. Meals can be deductible up to a daily limit when they are tied to work travel and paid electronically at qualifying establishments. Random takeout at home is not. Vehicles are notoriously strict, unless your work reasonably requires a dedicated vehicle. Think delivery, sales reps, trades. Claiming full cost for a mixed-use car is asking for a headache. Split personal from business as a discipline, not a theory. You'll sleep better. Gear and furniture above modest price points are not expensed in one go. They are amortized over useful life, spreading the deduction across years. Track your inventory, serials, and invoices. It takes one afternoon now and saves 3 in spring. If this feels like a lot, turn it into a checklist you run in 45 minutes. Each month, download your bank statements, tag every transaction as business or personal, attach the receipt, and log mileage and travel days. Take 5 minutes to confirm your invoices include the right details, your name, tax ID, client details, date, concept, taxable base, VAT, and rate if applicable, withholding if applicable, and total. If you bill EU businesses, validate their VAT numbers and add the reverse charge legend when needed. The month you cross a new pattern, EU services, digital goods, retail stock, pause and check if a special scheme applies. Boring, predictable, and fast beats heroic and last minute every time. There are red flags that attract attention. Working for a single client exactly like an employee. Fixed hours, fixed desk, their equipment, their control, while invoicing as autonomo can trigger Spain's false self-employment doctrine. The penalty isn't a debate on philosophy. It's back social security contributions and fines for the company that treated you as a contractor when you were functionally staff. If your setup looks like employment, fix the facts or change the relationship. Another red flag, registering for VAT and then filing 0 quarters while your social feeds show you traveling for work. The tax office reads stories too. Your numbers should match your life. A third, deducting your entire rent and car because you sometimes take calls in the living room and drive to the gym to think. The law is generous when you are reasonable. It's allergic to vibes. Let's talk cash flow, because taxes hurt most when they surprise you. Build a simple stack. When a payment lands, split it mentally into 3 jars. 1 jar is V8. If you charged it, it isn't your money. Park it. 1 jar is tax, a fixed slice of each payment, sized to your typical margin, feeds your quarterly prepayment with room to spare. 1 jar is your pay, the money you actually live on. This habit turns deadlines into routine and keeps Q2 and Q4 from wrecking August and January. If you sell digital services or goods to customers across borders, add place of supply checks to your setup. Business customers in the EU often self-assess VAT under reverse charge. Consumers require you to charge VAT at their country's rate through special portals. If you ship goods to consumers across borders, you may be able to use import or union one-stop schemes so parcels don't die at the border with surprise bills. These aren't Spain-only rules. They're the European way to keep the internet honest. When does autonomo stop being the right container? 3 patterns push people toward a company, usually a Sociedad Limitada, an SL. The first is liability. If your work carries meaningful risk, teams, leases, equipment, public premises, you want the corporate veil between your personal assets and business claims. The second is profit level and reinvestment. If you consistently earn more than you need to live on, a company can tax retained profits at corporate rates while your salary and dividends are tuned to your plan. The third is market perception. Some clients and tenders require a company, a payroll, or an audit trail only a company provides. A company adds admin, bookkeeping, corporate tax, payroll, more forms, but offers structure. There's no magic revenue line that fits everyone. Model your last year as both autonomo and SL and see where the stress moves. What about visas and newcomers? If you're on a non-lucrative visa, you are not allowed to engage in local economic activity. Autonomo status contradicts that permit. If you're on Spain's international teleworker or entrepreneur pathways, you may be able to register as autonomo and work for non-Spanish clients while resident, or even qualify for Spain's special impatriate regime for employees founders if your facts fit. Visa rules are immigration law, tax registration is tax law. They must agree with each other. If your permit says no work, don't try to launder work through a hobby. If your permit allows remote work, line up your autonomo registration accordingly and decide your social security path. A certificate of coverage from your home country if a treaty allows it, or Spanish affiliation if not. A few scenarios make the rules feel real. You're a UX designer billing Spanish companies. Your invoices include VAT and, because you're a professional, a small withholding line your clients remit to Hacienda. Each quarter you file VAT on what you collected, minus what you paid, and Modelo 130 reduced by the retentions your clients already sent in your name. At year end, you file your renta. The withheld amounts show up like prepayments. You're a copywriter, billing only foreign clients outside the EU. Your invoices may carry no VAT because the place of supply is outside Spain. You still file zero VAT quarters to keep the record straight, and you prepay income tax on your net profit because nobody withheld for you. You're a fitness coach billing consumers. You charge VAT on sessions if your activity isn't in an exempt category, keep immaculate appointment logs, and never forget that cash sessions are still income. In every case, the story is the same. Document, file, and price with your obligations in mind. There are perks that soften edges. Parental leaves exist for autonomos, with relief on Social Security contributions and cash benefits. Temporary incapacity covers you if you get sick beyond a short waiting period. Training is deductible. You can change your Social Security income band several times a year as your income forecast shifts. You can opt into cash basis VAT, so you remit VAT only when you collect from clients, not when you issue the invoice, a lifesaver in industries with slow payers. These aren't loopholes. They're features for grown-ups who read the menu. Pros and cons often decide people more than numbers. The pros are freedom and speed. You can register in a day, invoice tomorrow, and pivot your activity without board meetings. You pay tax on profit, so lean months don't punish you, and you can claim the costs of staying current in your craft. Healthcare access is automatic once you're in the system, and parental benefits compare well internationally. The cons are volatility and responsibility. The quarterly drumbeat won't wait for a late client. The monthly Social Security quota arrives even when you're on holiday. And compliance is your chore unless you hire help. You trade the comfort of a payroll slip for the control of your own ledger. Some months you will feel both sides of that trade in your stomach. If you're starting this month, do 3 things that future you will actually thank you for. Open a second bank sub-account and label it Tax plus VAT. Every time you get paid, move the VAT in a fixed slice for income tax there and forget it exists until filing day. Build a receipt habit that works on your phone. Snap, tag, move on, and set a 5-minute daily slot to clear the queue. Draft 1 page that explains your activity code, VAT situation, withholding status, and Social Security band. Hand it to any accountant you ever hire so you never again spend an hour translating your life to a stranger. And when a friend asks you whether autonomo is worth it, tell them the truth. It's worth it if you want to own your time, your scope, and your upside, and you're willing to respect the system that makes that possible. The forms aren't a wall. They're the price of admission. Once you learn the rhythm, register, invoice correctly, set aside the VAT, pay quarterly on profit, pay monthly for healthcare, keep sane records, the admin shrinks to background hum. Spain gives you sun, trains that run on time, and a culture where people still talk to each other in cafes. Autonomo gives you a way to plug into that while building something with your name on it.